Jimmy McGuire moves in, taps him on the shoulder. Eddie Sullivan goes in. Greg Peterson with a headlock, slides behind him from the backside, pulled around by the arm and in the arm bar momentarily. As he comes up, Sullivan backs him over onto the ropes. Forearm smash. Greg Peterson moves in. Peterson not breaking clean according to Sullivan. Greg Peterson holding that arm high. Moves in, finds himself in a headlock now by Sullivan. Sullivan looks up as he comes out of it, goes for the hair, brings him down. McGuire didn't see it. He hooks him with a leg. Good move by little Greg Peterson. He pulls in there and hooks that left leg, and back goes Sullivan. Sullivan now wraps up that arm. A Japanese wrist lock brings him over. Trying to get him in the scissors. He has one leg over the rope. Greg Peterson looks up as Eddie Sullivan backs off. Sullivan moves in to grips. Sullivan comes, nope. Sullivan loses with a hammerlock from the front side, but he brings him over the top to break the hold. Moving around, Eddie Sullivan and Greg Peterson in the grips again. From the backside, beautiful takedown, nope. He has the rope. That'll call for the break from there. Peterson and now moving into a hammerlock. Nope, slides it up into a standing wrist lock it is. Sullivan does. Beautiful takedown by Peterson as he brings him over. Gets a count of 1 on Sullivan. Sullivan with a count of 1 pops that arm up. Sullivan gripping that backside of Peterson here. He's pushing him slowly over toward the ropes. Hooks that left leg. Sullivan puts that hand under the chin. Takes the arm down, trying to get the pin on it. He can't do it. Now he takes the left arm. Peterson spins around, back over onto the ropes, pursuing Sullivan very quickly. McGuire moves in to tell him to break up the locked or clenched fist. There's the possibility of some punches maybe swapped. Forearm smash. Down he comes down on the elbow again, or with the elbow again, on the shoulder. Has him from the backside and the tights. Peterson down. McGuire asked him about the tights. No, says Sullivan. Peterson trying to bridge up out of it, is able to get around, now moves up, but they're over on the ropes. It'll call for the break. The break is made. We have about a minute to go, at the most, a little less than a minute, according to the official timekeeper. And Sullivan and Peterson both looking very fresh at this point. Sullivan, Peterson in the center of the ring. Sullivan saying, back him off. He's got the clenched fist. Sullivan goes in and he throws a hard right to the ribs, the back rib cage of Peterson. Peterson counters with a forearm smash to the midsection. Down on the back with a knee in. Goes in, counters him over into the ring. Up off the ropes, back body drop. Down he comes very hard. Drives it in from the backside. There goes the bell. The bell sounds and action will stop because the time has expired. A draw.
Definitely got the cream of the crop in this area. We've got top-notch wrestlers from the top of the match all the way to the opening match.
That's exactly right. So up in the air goes Mr. Peterson. Down hard he comes along with Bob Orton.
Maybe all of it. A drop like that on the shoulders and neck may put that Mr. Fields out of it. We'll find out right now what Clint Fields is made out of.
A little knee lift on puts him right back on the canvas again from Bob Orton Jr. Flying mare.
I'll say one thing, Clint Fields got in the ring again. Two very, very, very tough competitors today again, Bob Root and Bob Orton. And those two may take a lot out of Mr. Clint Fields before he gets started here, but only time will tell, Jim.
We've seen them operate before together like that.
Definitely have. They've held the tag team titles on several different occasions, and as far as the team, they work together as good as any team I've ever seen.
There's that abdominal stretch again. Let's see if Fields can take that.
This may be it.
tell whether he can or not. He hasn't given any indication he's going to give it up. But I'm sure Bob Roop wants him to give it up. I believe there was a tag, and here comes George McCreary, but Bob Orton says there wasn't any tag. The referee's not going to put him out, so here's McCreary now on Bob Roop here with a chin lock, it looks like.
Looks like that McCreary's got Bob Roop in a lot of trouble already here.
Sure has. Bob's not moving near as quick as he was.
Can't sell that George McCreary short. He's fooled a whole lot of his opponents when he's got in the ring with him, Jim.
Yeah, he doesn't give the impression of being really all that tough and rough and everything, but when he gets going, why, he gets going.
His looks is very, very, very deceiving.
That's right.
A lot of people in his life. Got a front face lock on Bob Roop now.
That's what I was meant to ask you a while ago, what that was called, a front face lock by George McCreary. So Roop on his knees, trying to figure out how to get out of this hole that George McCreary has on him. Either that or a tag from Bob Orton Jr. would help him, I imagine.
Looked to me like they're trying to get set up to make a tag over there, but no, he took him down.
Took him the other way, so Orton had to move around on the other side.
And I can't be sure who's got who up there right now, Jim. Look like they're both pretty well tied up. It looked like Roop made the tag Norton's in now, so that's going to give them the upper hand.
He's got the tag, and now he's getting stomped pretty good there by Bob Orton Jr. Hard down on that left leg, right leg. And grabbing some whiskers right now, bringing him up.
He's got a whole handful, but the thing, they've hurt George McCreary's back. You can tell that he's been in quite much pain up there, and they may be ready to wind Mr. McCreary up.
Yep, they're softening him up pretty good.
Come on, Bobby. Finish it, man.
So it looks like they're going to try to finish him up. Whoops. Grabbed a hold of the head of Bob Orton Jr. there. He tried for a leg of head scissors, and it didn't work. Brings him up okay. Looks like he's going to go to the turnbuckle. And a bear hug now by Bob Orton. And putting the pressure to that midsection.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Mr. McCreary. He's taking an awful lot of punishment up there right now, Jim.
A lot more than Clint Fields. He's been in there more than Clint. I don't know how much more Mr. McCreary can take, but anyway, Orton. Oh, Clint's coming in now. There's the tag. And Bob Orton looking for him, and he finds him. Finds him with an arm drag. Puts Clint Fields into a head scissors. There's the tag. Bob Roop coming in. Double team there by Orton and Roop. And up high goes Roop down with the body slam.
Started to say, looks like they had Mr. Fields in a whole lot of trouble, and he comes up with a body slam, Jim.
Now he's got him in a headlock. Bob Roop in a headlock. And keeping him in that headlock. Looks like Mr. Roop now is going to either run up, figured up something. Just lifted his man right up, and that was it. Off the ropes. Down on the back there of Clint Fields.
They're working Mr. Fields over pretty good right now. Look like they've got him in a whole lot of trouble and probably getting ready to put him down for the 3 count.
He probably wished he hadn't made the coming over here now after George McCreary, Bob Roop is. And Clint Fields over there in the corner with Bob Orton. Out of the ring now goes George McCreary, and Clint Fields being double teamed here by Roop and Bob Orton. And McCreary got a common knee drop.
I'd say that's all of it. I'd say he's got him down now, and they're going to roll him up, and this match is about over with, looks to me like.
There was a tag. Here comes Bob Roop. Another atomic knee drop. Up on the ropes is Bob Roop. And down hard on Clint Fields. And again, there goes George McCurry to the floor. This could be it. 1, 2,
That's not it. I'm a
3.
fool man.
Oh, the winner of the match there is Bob Roop and Bob Orton Jr. over George McCready and Clint Field. They're taking their bows to the crowd here on All-Star Championship Wrestling. Let's make this break. We'll be back in a moment.
Knoxville, Tennessee. This is a match that involved yourself and Bob Orton Jr. Also Ron Fuller was in on this.
Yes, Ron Fuller was my second because of outside interference. My very, very good friend Ron Fuller was my second to make sure there was no interference. And I had a challenge match with Bob Orton Jr. The loser was to wear a mop. This happened about 4 or 5 years ago. And you know, history repeats itself. I've done the same thing with mop head Watley. And that's something Watley never knew about, that at one time Bob Orton wore a mop on his head because at the time Pistol Pez Watley was not around.
That's what I'm tired of. They giving you all this time for you to run your mouth about nothing.
And I could see that Pez Watley and Bob Orton Jr. would make a fine tag team because they've both been under a mop, which it would make any professional athlete look pretty ridiculous.
So Pez Watley and Bob Orton Jr.
As you can see, Ron Fuller on the floor. He threw Bob Orton back into the ring because Bob Orton is known to run, just like Pistol Pez Watley, just like Savage, just like the rest of them. They all like to run. When when it gets hot in the kitchen, they run out of that kitchen. They don't want to stay in there. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to get hotter. As you can see here, Bob Orton Jr.'s got a chair. But I beat him to the punch. I gave him a stomach punch. And here I small packaged him, and I got a 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I was the winner, and Bob Orton Jr. wind up wearing a mop. And I'm sure they're going to bring the mop here in a minute, where Bob Orton has to wear it. History repeats itself. Pez Watley has wore a mop. Bob Orton Jr. has wore a mop. And I'm proud of this because these are two athletes, and I defeated both of them. And Pez Watley, I can tell you something. I defeated you, and you just can't take it. And now you...
There you see the mop on the head of Bob Orton Jr.
Rip Rogers barely had time to take the blonde wig off of Pez before Angelo vaulted over there on him. There's a tag into Hoot Gibson.
Well, when the bell rings, it's time for the match to begin, so Angelo Poffo was indeed ready. Of course, Rip Rogers has Hoot Gibson on the ropes, and Pez Watley got ready with one of those big headbutts right on him.
Pez Watley has so many nicknames, it's hard to get them all out at one time.
Oh, and he missed with that elbow drop, and Hoot Gibson is ready for him, and it punched right to the bottom of his uppercut, right to the chin.
Here comes Mr. Durability himself, Angelo Poffo.
Indeed, he had on his 6,033 jacket, but he didn't have on his 6,033 trunks.
A big knee there to the chin of Rip Rogers.
And throws him right into the turnbuckle. Mr. Durability and the Man of Steel. And it's over. It's over. Rip Rogers sunset flipped Angelo.